How's it going, everyone? You got Switch here, and today I'm going to be doing a video on the top 5 games that I want to see for the PlayStation 4. So Heavy Rain was a groundbreaking release when it first came out. No game had been designed like that before, and they took quite a leap in making a game with this style of controls, of story, of just how you played the game. And honestly, I wasn't a big fan of it when I first saw the trailer, but I gotta say, after playing it for a while, it's definitely one of my more favorite games just because there's nothing else like it. All four of the main characters really get you hooked to them and really caring about the character, to where a lot of the games it's you don't really see that in video games anymore, and Heavy Rain did a great job of that. um, I know people who've played it that feel that they knew who was the Origami Killer. They knew the story like right off the bat. I honestly had no idea until the very end. I'm not going to spoil anything here, but if you haven't played it, I definitely recommend picking it up and checking it out. I think it's only like maybe 20-30 bucks right now for the PS3. If you can buy it used, maybe even cheaper at GameStop or something like that. But I know there's a lot of controversy as far as whether you would want Heavy Rain 2 or not, just because a lot of times sequels aren't as good as the first game, and I think this could become a victim of that should they release Heavy Rain 2. But I think if it's done properly, I think Heavy Rain 2 could be just as good, if not much better, than the first. Alright, so I know eventually we will get Elder Scrolls 6 on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, but I just wanted to throw it in there because, in my opinion, was one of the best games of this generation, and quite honestly, it was my 2011 Game of the Year. There's so much that you can do in Skyrim, and the step forward that Bethesda took from Oblivion to Skyrim was absolutely amazing. From the visuals to the gameplay to the mechanics to really everything. From the opening of this game, you just get sucked into it almost. Within the first 15 minutes of the game, you see your first dragon, and the awe that goes on when you first run into a dragon in the wild. I mean, I gamer creamed my pants when it first happened to me. It was so much fun. I mean, I'm still playing it. There's so much that you can do to it. Not obviously as much as I used to be. I think I put 250 hours into Skyrim when it first came out. But especially if you have it on Steam, all the mods that you can download from the workshop, excuse me, from the workshop it's endless. There's so much things that you can do in Skyrim, and I hope we get to see Elder Scrolls 6 early on with the next generation console. So just like Skyrim, Fallout 3 was my game of the year back in 2008, and I've been waiting for years for this game. I mean, I know Fallout New Vegas came out in 2010, and it was a good game. It was a good game, but it didn't give you that original feeling that Fallout 3 had. And I really, really hope that we get this pretty soon. There's speculation they're going to use the same, that Bethesda's going to use the same engine that they used for Skyrim. And if they did that, or even something better than that, I would be just thrilled. Would be the best word for it. The Fallout 3 engine just really isn't working anymore. There was a lot of glitches in Fallout 3 and also in Fallout New Vegas, but it didn't take away from how good the gameplay was. But again, I do hope they use a better engine, improve it, and I guess as shallow as it is, up the graphics, because I think in Fallout New Vegas they were kind of outdated, and what they were able to pull off in Skyrim with that engine was absolutely amazing. So here's to Fallout 4 pretty soon in the next console. Okay, the fourth thing that I'd like to see on the next PlayStation is the next great indie game, based off of all of the specs, the developer capabilities, and all that stuff that they announced at the PS4 reveal. It seems like this is going to be a very, very hyped up PC while still in a console state, if that makes any sense. Basically, what that means is developers will be able to work on games very, very similarly to how they do on computers or just PCs. And I mean, as we all know, Minecraft was the last great, ultra great indie game that came out. So I mean, I'd like to see the next one come out on the PS4. I think that there's a lot of developers that would love to get in there and play with the mechanics and the capabilities that PlayStation has, while still being able to have the console type of feel. So yeah, that's my number 4. I'd love to see the next great indie game on the PlayStation 4.
It's been 4 years since the end of the war.
Alright, so I know there's a snowball's chance in hell for this to actually happen, but we can dream, right? I'm one of the people that I was not a fan of Halo until Halo 4 came out, and I know that there's a lot of changes that they made to Halo 4. It's very much similar to Call of Duty now, and I'll say it, that's probably the reason why I started to get into Halo. I don't know, for whatever reason, when Halo, the first Halo that came out, I really loved it. It was a great game. I was all over it. But then after that, I think with how late I got to Halo 2 and not remembering that same feeling that I had when I played Halo 1, I went away from it. I wasn't a fan of it. But Halo 4, I think 343 really did a number with Halo 4, and as long as they keep this trend going, they're in great shape. And I'm excited to see the new Halo 4, not Halo 4, but just the Halo TV series that they're going to start up with Steven Spielberg. I hope they do that well. Because if they don't, that's going to be a major faux pas for Halo. I don't think it's going to be able to recover if it's done badly. But that's just my opinion, guys. Subscribe. I've got some more video game news coming your way.